Man charged for stolen gun from the gun court. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Detectives from the Criminal Investigation Branch have made an arrest in connection with a firearm which was stolen from the gun court registry of the Supreme Court. A man has been charged by the Kingston Eastern Police after he was found in possession of the stolen weapon. He has been identified as Kevin Banfield of a Bull Bay address. He was reportedly held in possession of the stolen gun on August 23 by the East Kingston Police and subsequently charged for possession of a prohibited weapon. It was reported that the semi-automatic pistol, which was an exhibit in a case, was stolen from the registry between July 11 and August 27, and it was discovered missing last week when the police went to the Supreme Court to retrieve the weapon on completion of the court case in which the accused was acquitted of illegal possession of a firearm. Several rounds of ammunition were also stolen from a filing cabinet in the gun court registry. The government has ceased payment of the salaries for employees of Stocks and Securities Limited (SSL). Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said it is no longer necessary to provide this kind of support as an insurance claim by the temporary manager of SSL in April to the investment firm's insurers in England has been settled. SSL had received the insurance payout of $1 million US on September 7, enabling the company to settle the remainder of its August staff salary bills last week Monday. And with this development, no taxpayer money, no government of Jamaica resources, no public funds have or will be used to support SSL in a payment of any to its employees or any other of its expenses, Dr. Nigel Clark declared. Meanwhile, opposition spokesman on national security Peter Bunting said that Jamaica has paid dearly in lives lost because of the failed policies of the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party government. Bunting, who was speaking Sunday at the 85th Annual Conference of the People's National Party at the National Arena, presented statistics that show that an average of 1,412 people have been murdered in Jamaica each year in the 7.5 years that the JLP has been in power. This, he said, compares to the average of 1,129 murders per year during the 4 years of the last PNP government from 2012 to 2016, when he, Bunting, was the Minister of National Security. This is a 25% increase in the number of murders each year on average in the country compared to the last PNP administration. But they, the JLP, campaigned in 2016 on the promise that you could sleep with your windows and your doors open, Bunting remarked. Declaring that the truth is in the data, Bunting is now urging Jamaicans to go to the website of the Jamaica Constabulary Force where the statistics can be assessed. Using the popular PNP slogan, Bunting said, "Time has come for an end to excuses and gaslighting. Time come now for a safer Jamaica." A man suspected of targeting and killing homeless people in St. Ann has been charged. Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell, head of the St. Ann Police, disclosed yesterday afternoon that the 45-year-old suspect was charged Monday following intense investigations into the killing of 5 homeless people in the parish. Richard Belnavis of Pagee in Port Maria St. Mary and Boxfield in St. Ann has been charged with 2 counts of murder. They relate to the killing of Juna Hay on July 27, as well as an unidentified man who was killed on April 10th. Belnavis is also charged with 2 counts of wounding with intent in relation to 2 other homeless people, including a 60-year-old woman, and another count of unlawful wounding. SSP Powell said additional charges are pending against the accused who was captured last week, and what he's doing is going around and killing homeless people. A female student of Oracabessa High School in St. Mary is battling for life in hospital after she was attacked and stabbed by a mentally ill man. And it's reported that the student was stabbed multiple times to her neck, hands, back, and buttocks. She was rushed to hospital where she remains in critical condition. The mentally ill man was apprehended and is now in police custody. A man who was taken into custody 3 weeks ago for questioning in connection with the fatal shooting of his wife at their residence in St. Elizabeth has been released. The man was released after his attorney filed a writ of habeas corpus in court demanding that he either be charged or released by the police. Deputy Superintendent Albert Dea, head of crime for St. Elizabeth, said that the husband, who was listed as a person of interest, was released because investigators did not have enough evidence to charge him. He said the probe continues in this case. Mrs. Griffiths, a 38-year-old cosmetologist, was found murdered at her house owned by the couple in Goshen on September 1st. Residents said that they heard explosions and later found her with gunshot wounds. Her husband, who was staying at a nearby property at the time of the shooting, has denied any knowledge of his wife's killing. His licensed firearm, however, was seized for ballistic testing. Onto sports. Manning Cup. Wolmer's Boys School retained their second straight victory in this year's Manning Cup competition with a come-from-behind 4-2 win over Vauxhall in Group G at Jamaica University yesterday. In the day's other game, Campion College defeated Pembroke Hall 3-0, Denham Town beat Greater Portmore 3-1, St. George's College outclassed Arden 7-1, Waterford edged Josemarte 1-0, and Haile Selassie got the better of Jonathan Grant 2-0. Meanwhile, St. Jago whipped Donald Quarry 3-1, Tivoli clipped Kingston Tech 1-0, and Papine got by Ascot 1-0. There were disasters in the Dacosta Cup as 4 persons were struck by lightning at a schoolboy football game in Linstead in St. Catherine yesterday afternoon and were all taken to hospital. 3 players from the Dintle Technical High School team and an assistant referee were rushed to the Linstead Hospital after they were struck by lightning in the first half of the Zone J game that was being played against Charlemont High at Charlemont High School in Linstead. That game was called off. Everton Burke, a member of the management team of the Dintle Technical, who accompanied the 4 people to the hospital, said all 4 were responsive and did not appear to be in danger. One player who he said had a shoulder injury complained of pain all over in his shoulder and in his neck. He said that it was not raining at the time and it was only about 25 minutes into the game, but it had rained earlier and the conditions were overcast. So we wish for speedy recovery for those players. In the meantime, in the games that were played, Malden High were 4-3 winners over Spot Valley. Cornwall College made it 2 in a row, beating Green Pond 3-1. Russell's High beating Merlin Otti 5-0. Green Island were 6-0 winners over Cambridge. Belfield were 2-0 winners over Homewood. Knox College edged Christiana 2-1. Mile Gully also had a similar 2-1 victory over Alphonsus Davis at Mile Gully. St. Mary Tech beat Iona 3-0. Tacky were 4-1 winners over Wycliffe Martin High. Eden Bennett beat Ewerton 3-0, while that Dintle and Charlemont game was called off. Denby beat Central High 5-0, while Glenmore, with a murderous victory, a 16-0 mauling of Porus. Porus in their first game lost 18-0. Now they get 16-0 from Glenmore, while Black River beat Grange Hill 3-0. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I gone.